Hi everyone, so for today's tech training at g-hold.com, what we're going to do is show you how to use Pixelmator and Werble in order to remove text and to create an animation behind it. So first off, we're going to go into Pixelmator. We're going to add an image by pressing that plus button in the top right hand side, and then we're going to choose to select a picture from photos. I could also go into presets there and just have a blank image to work from, or into templates, which have specific templates that you can add pictures to. So I'm going to go into photos and I'm going to select this image here and I'm going to import it. So first I'm going to add some text. I'm going to click the plus button, and at that top bar there I can press the T, and that helps me to add text. So there we go. I'm going to double click on that and just capitalize it by pressing the capitalize button. I'm going to say g-hold.com. And then I'm going to select it by double clicking on that text box, and I'm going to press the paintbrush at the top right, and I'm going to select bold, and I'm also going to change the font by clicking on the font button, and I'm going to select Avenir Next Condensed. That's one of my favorites, but there's plenty of fonts to choose from in Pixelmator. Okay, so now I've done that. I'm also going to click the paint button again because I want to increase its size. Let's make it really quite large. There we go. Let's see if that's big enough. I'll just do a little bit more. And we have our ghold.com. And then I'm going to, in fact, you know what? I'll just copy that text by clicking on it twice sometimes helps, and I'll say copy, and then I'll click on the image again and say paste, and there we go. It means we've got the same kind of font size, and I'm going to double click on that text bar at the bottom, and I'm going to change that, capitalizing it to sale. Okay, now sale might need to be a bit bigger just because it's slightly lost there. Okay, so I'm going to click on the paint button and I'm going to increase its size even more. There we go. That's nice and bold. Maybe just make ghold.com just a little bit bigger as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to basically remove the shape of that text from the layer behind. So the layer behind is the picture itself, and we can see the layers here. So there's three layers. One is the picture, and one is the text at the top, and then the other is the text at the bottom. So we're going to select that layer, which is the actual image itself. And what we're going to do is zoom in, and I'm going to click the paintbrush, and I'm going to click select, and I'm going to go for color selection, and color selection allows me to select a color. So what it's actually doing when I press on this G is, although it looks as if it's selecting the text, it's actually selecting the layer behind in the shape of that text. So I'm going to say done, because that's the correct selection, and I'm going to tap that letter, and I'm going to say delete. And then again, I go to the paintbrush, click select, and I can see it's on color selection. So I'll just select this one, done, touch it, click delete. Again, paintbrush, select, press on that H, say done, tap on the H again, and say delete. So I'm just going to whiz through these and speed it up for you. Okay, so now we have, I think, done all of them. So I just clicked on deselect there at the top left hand side, and I am going to, I think that that's all them done properly. So I'm going to click on this top text bar, and I'm going to click again, and I'm going to say delete. And then I'm going to click on that bottom text bar, and I'm going to click on it again, and I'm going to say delete. And there we go. And if I zoom in here, you'll see that that's actually, the text is see-through. So when we go into our next piece of the puzzle, we're going to have this image, and it's going to have blank text, so we can put animation behind that. So now what we need to do with this image is we need to export it into our camera roll. Now it's really important that we save it as the right file type into our camera roll so that it will recognize that it's got a see-through background. So I'm going to click that export button up there in the top right, and then I'm going to send a copy. And I'm going to send it as a PNG because that recognizes a blank background. So I'm going to click PNG, and then I'm going to say save image, and that will save it as a PNG into my camera roll. Okay, so with that in my camera roll, I'm now going to click on the Werble app. Okay, so now that I'm in the Werble app, I'm going to click on the button down there, and there's my image up there. So I'm going to click the top right hand button, and I'm actually going to add another layer behind it because it just helps to bring out the animation a little bit more. Otherwise it's a bit dark because it's basically just black behind. So I'm going to do that by moving this bottom section down, just scrolling it down. I'm going to click that add button and press on it, and then I'm going to select add more photos, and I've done a kind of a light blue background there. We'll see how that works out just behind the image. So now that I've got that blue, basically a blue square that I'd saved into my camera roll, I'm going to just move that with my finger so that it lies behind that image there. Now the blue might be a little bit light and it might be confusing with the arrows. So I'm actually going to just delete that one because I don't think it looks quite right behind it. So I'm going to click the delete button here, and I'm going to go back to pressing the add, and I'm going to add more photos. And there I've got a purple one, which is a little bit darker, which might go a bit better behind there. We'll see anyway when we start to add the animations. So I think for the first animation, I'm going to go for, let's go for New Year and maybe choose some fireworks. There's some fireworks. Okay, so currently that's in front of the image. We want to put it behind the image. So let's put it in between those two layers. We'll maybe move it up slightly so that it's not over sail at all. It's just over the G hold. Let's see if that works. We move it slightly there. Oh yeah, that's good. That has some flashing stuff. I'll maybe move it sideways slightly. So you just move it by twisting. You can kind of see the outline. I'm just using my fingers to move it into a different position, and I can see what it's supposed to be down there, in that box there. So I quite like that for the ghold.com. Let's add something behind sail now. We could maybe go for something like these circle waves. Let's see how they might work out. Something crazy like this one. What about this one? Oh yeah. So do you know what I've just done is I've deleted now the fireworks. So I'm going to click that plus button so that I can add the layer of fireworks that we had before. So I'm going to go into New Year, and I'm going to click that fireworks button again. I'm going to put that behind there, and I'm also going to make sure that it's not over sail Let's see if that's working. Yeah, that's working. There we go. Yeah, that works pretty well. So we've got a couple of animations, but actually I think what I'm going to do for the sale one, because I don't know if that's kind of distracting, is it? Maybe I might make the sale one smaller. Oh, that's crazy. Or let's go for a different color. Let's see if that might work well. Or we could put it as weather actually, or apocalypse. Let's go for apocalypse. Let's have a crazy apocalypse situation happening. What about that one? Oh yeah, that's kind of good. Sale. Oh yeah, I like that. That's kind of good. And then I'm going to add one more glow thing. There's a layer for glows, so I'm going to add that one. There's a glow there. And let's opt for this one, because that's quite cool. And I'm just going to put that behind there. And I think it's probably, there we go. Let's try and move it so that it glows across the sail. Cool. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so then I'm going to export it as a 6-second video. And so I'm going to save to photos, save as a video, and I'm going to go for 6, or maybe I'll go for 10 seconds. There we go. And then that will appear as a video in my camera roll, and we can upload it to social media, and it just makes it a little bit more interesting than just a still image. It just kind of brings it to life a lot more, and you can do all sorts of fun things with that animated text. So for more tips and tricks, or to get your hands on one of these tablet holders or one of our phone holders or home hangs, please visit our website at g-hold.com.